Hey, everybody, welcome to the BAAS Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Saunders. You know, I got to give myself some hand claps. Yeah, turn them up. I know it's been a long, hot summer and you haven't seen this beautiful face. You know, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been taking care of my daughter. We've been going to colleges. It's that time for her to pick a college. She'll be starting her senior year in high school in a couple of weeks. So we've been doing that, you know, learning how to drive and SAT prep classes. And, you know, she wants to be an architect. So we've been doing art classes. So I've been heavy on the daddy duty this summer. But this next guest called me and said, you know what? I want to come on your podcast. So, you know, I'm coming out of the summer hibernation to do this one, y'all, okay? Because this is my boy. And I'm so glad to do this right now. Now, you might remember this little puppy, this little ditty right here. Check this out. Who remember this, y'all? The dance floor used to light up when this came on. For those of you who are old enough to know about it, what you talking about? This is Touch. Without You. What y'all know about that? Wait. Uh-oh. Hey, what y'all know about that? Hey, you from New York and you a person of a certain age, you know about that, okay? You also know about Too Hype, yeah, by In Touch. Well, both of those songs included this young man right here, and I'm going to bring him on right now. Without further ado, I'm going to bring to you all the one and only, the incomparable, well, Free Smith, Free, and we can just call him Free the Dreamer. Come on in the room, brother. Come on in.
You.
I get some hand claps. What you talking about?
Hush. Let me apologize for the I called them the Grand Design, my dogs, Momo and Zuko, because I'm sure somewhere before this is over, they will be trying to get in their 2 cents.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why I come to this space. I used to do mine in the spare bedroom in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little space downtown, in downtown Danbury. And I said, you know what?
Go.
I ain't gonna worry about no kids, no dogs, no cats, no birds, none of
that. Yeah. Well, you know, I have a studio in my house, so I do everything in here. I call it the womb, not the room, the WOMB, because know,
where all the good music is birthed.
Yeah. This is where it goes down.
That's what I'm talking about. So welcome, brother. And, you know, I'm so honored that you asked me to come on. I'm like, what, are you kidding? Of course. Of course you can come on.
You've been like super supportive, bro, from when I first started releasing joints, you know, on TrackSource, you know, Protect Your Peace. You reached out. You know, you didn't know me really. We didn't know each other yet. And you just started going on it. And thank you for that, first of all. And you know, you've been supportive, and you start with those who supported you first when they had no reason to. So that's how come I had to reach out.
Well, thank you, my brother. You know, when I get into, anybody knows me, if I like something, when I get into it, I'm into it. Okay, like when people come on this podcast, they come on and they're on for an hour, and
Mm-hmm.
2 years later, I'm still pushing them. You know what I'm saying? They was on, 2 years ago. They got a new single. I'm always throwing it out. I'm always throwing it out because, that's what we need. You can't be just doing it just for the moment, as far as I'm
Well,
concerned, especially if you're into it.
that's what it is now, though. It ain't even really about numbers no more. It's not. I mean, the algorithm, yes, but it's not about, oh, I got a million likes. It's about a small, concentrated community that resonate with you and you with them, and you build off of that. That's what it is nowadays. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So that's my whole goal. And people who may rock with me or know who I am from what I've done, more than welcome. But I'm not a guy that looks back. I'm glad that happened, and it put me in a position to do what I'm doing right now. But everything is forward. Life's too short to look back. You walk into shit.
Yeah, right. But it's funny if we go back a little bit. You think about Jackie McGee and Lenny Underwood, and all those people that you work with.
It's my
And
family.
right,
Those people are my family. You
matter
know.
of fact, I was in Middletown, New York, 2 Fridays ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw Lenny Underwood performing.
That's
And
big bro.
right, I walked over there. He said, "I know you." I said, "I know you too." He
That's
said, "What
big
you
bro.
doing up here?" I said,
Yo,
"I got a little place up here."
quick Lenny Underwood story. When I really started getting into writing songs, I must have been like 12. No, I was a little older, 13, 14. Lenny would stop his day and come to my house and listen to my little bullshit songs. I mean, he would sit there, listen, critique. The first full song that I ever did any kind of production on or whatever, I did at Lenny's house in Co-op City. And he sat there with me. What I didn't know how to play yet, he played. It was a song called Daddy Be Slick. He probably doesn't even remember this. And he yeah, he was there, man. He's a huge thread in my fabric.
That's a
Him and
bad brother right
Sandy
there.
Anderson.
Yeah, yes. Matter of fact, if y'all don't know, we throwing out these names. Some people might not even know who we talking about. We talking about Lenny Underwood. You might remember him from A Limited Touch. Searching to Find
Absolutely.
a One. I Hear Music in the Streets. I mean, and
Yep.
so much other great stuff. But he's been working and doing his thing for decades.
45 years, easy.
That's
He been
easy.
going hard. And I can't talk about him without talking about Sandy Anderson, who was the bass player and the founding member of A Limited Touch.
Hmm.
And God bless him. We lost him during COVID, but he couldn't have been more my brother if we shared DNA. He actually lived with me, and he's how I got into the game. When I was a kid, I was a little rambunctious, to say the least. I got into some nonsense that almost cost me my life. And he went to my mother, and then he brought Lenny, and he was like, "Let us take him on the road." I don't know if you knew I was a roadie for Unlimited Touch.
Get out of here.
I want
Now,
to.
I saw another interview when you said you went on the road. I was like, "Were you playing bass? What were you doing? What you
I
doing?"
was I was a roadie. I was setting up the keyboards, the bass, the drums. I was a roadie, making $25 a gig. But it got me in. That's how Tony Cintron, Phil Hamilton, my big sis Audrey Wheeler, Stephanie
Yeah.
James. They all, you know, they stayed on me. They kept me out the street, and they took me on the road. Made sure I got all my school stuff done because of them. I got out of high school when I was 16.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was without them there would be no this. And to put an addendum on it, um, my older brother Gene, he's the one that introduced me to music. He's the one that introduced Sandy Anderson to playing the bass, because Sandy
Mm.
was a sax player, and my brother played bass. And the music in my house was Larry Graham, Grand Central Station, Sly and the Family Stone. My mother took me to see Sly and the Family Stone at the Garden when I was like 6 or 7.
Wow.
Um, you know, and he was like the music guy. I grew up in a spot called the Valley in the Bronx. You know, not super far from you, right off of
Yep.
95,
Yep.
right near Co-op City.
Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I just lived.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Connecticut like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, well,
But I'm a city kid.
we all got to get grown at some point, move to
Yeah,
the
right.
suburbs. And yeah, but they Gene was like the music cat in our area. And how I learned to start playing, I would play hooky from school because he told me never touch his instruments like the Joe Jackson shit. Don't touch my bass, don't touch my guitar. And he had an electric piano in the bedroom. And I would literally play hooky from school and put on Prince records and learn how to play them. And that's how I started playing.
Mm.
So, those are the people that birthed me. And I had the most encouraging, nourishing mother in the world. You know what I mean? If I said, "Oh, I like the way that guy dances on the Tom Jones show," she had me in dance classes the next week. And she raised boys all by herself. I don't know what she was doing. She may have been moving keys on the block or something. I'm not sure how she did everything she did. But she made sure that if I showed any inclination toward it, that you know, she let me
how,
explore it.
how many brothers do you have?
I have a lot of brothers. Now, are we talking biologically?
Well, yeah, biologically. How many were in your household at the time when you were coming up?
Well, there was 3 boys. We lost one, so it was me and my older brother Gene. It's like 8 years between us. So it wasn't like me and him was hanging out, but our one bond was music. And that's how come I know so much. I knew about Carlos Santana, Al Di Meola, Weather Report.
Yeah.
My brother was a George Clinton fanatic. So we had every Funkadelic, Parliament. And when he started going to clubs, he would go to clubs and come home and tell me about the songs he heard. I'll never forget one night he went to Club 371 in the Bronx. Eddie Chiba was the DJ. That's how
Mm.
far we back right now. And he said he heard this song called Flashlight, or was it Bob Gun? It may have been both.
Mm.
And he would not stop talking about it. And he got the album like 2 days later. And that's all was in my house for like a year. You know what I mean? He's the one who introduced me to Prince's first album. And I couldn't even understand how one person did all that.
I know that's
So
right.
he was a music he my brother Lenny, Sandy Anderson, my 3 biggest musical mentors as a child.
Did your brother, did you work with him when you started doing stuff, going to the
Actually,
studio?
we after Touch came out and we hit, I got him a deal on Supertronics,
All
the
right.
label we were on, and he had a song called Take It to the House. If you look on YouTube, you'll find it by Gene, Jine. And we produced it, which was absolutely weird. And I'm sure he had some I'm the big brother shit going on in his mind. But no, we got him a deal. It came out, it did what it did. People still talk about it like through Europe and places like that, Japan, like, oh, this was
Mhm.
my song. But we didn't know how to follow our business then. When Touch happened, we were on 19, 20, 21. We was
Right.
babies.
Mm, mm, mm. So Touch turned into In Touch,
Yes, sir.
and what was the name change? Different labels or something like that?
Switching labels, Supertronics had folded. The group kind of broke up. The original members, gotta always shout them out. Of course, you know who Commissioner Gordon Williams is.
Oh,
Yeah, 8 Grammys deep. Carlos Santana, Lauryn Hill, all the Marley stuff you hear. That Gordon has a hand in it somewhere. Eric McCain, who wrote and produced Twisted for Keith Sweat. And he did a bunch more. Cut Close, Mister, um, and Sean Varro, who was the other lead singer with Eric, and me. That was it. But here's something a lot of people don't know. Before Touch, I had a record deal with Next Plateau Records when I was like 17, 16 going on 17, maybe 17 going on 18. And I was in Morgan State at the time.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I was at Morgan State. I don't know if I was in, but I was at Morgan State. And I had a rap group called The Deuces Wild. I hope nobody ever finds that record.
I'm writing it
It
down
was
right now. What are you talking about?
it was four of us. It was me, uh, my man MC Baby J, who was a beast back then. His real name was Les. One of my best childhood friends, Grand Supreme Mike D. Lost him a while back. God bless him. And I'm sure you know who Herb Martin is.
Oh
House
yeah.
DJ.
Yep.
He was
Yep.
the other DJ. I grew up with Herb Martin.
Small
We are
world.
from the Valley.
Yeah.
And yeah, we he was the first person I ever gave Without You to. But yeah, man, I had that deal. It didn't work out. We put out one record. It was again, and then I went to Morgan, and I've been on the road. I was obsessed with music, but I went to a couple of parties at Morgan with my man Malcolm and my man Hans. I was like, let me go to school. Yeah, well, I went to the school, but but I also had a record deal while I was there. So, I did 6 months and kind of boogied.
I hear you. Sometimes why stay in there when you got something else going on the
Yeah.
burner?
And
Especially
now,
something that you want to do.
yeah, you know what I mean? So, but I left there, and a friend of mine, Kent, who I had another rap group with him and my man Nick, shout both Kent and Nick. We had a rap group called Mixed Breed, and we called it that because Nick was Italian,
Mm.
and he worked at the local video shop in my area on Gun Hill Road. And I would write all his rhymes, but he really knew how to say them. And Lenny produced the demo for us, in fact. And him and his boy Kenny at the time were like sort of managing us. It was weird. That didn't work out, but then Kent introduced me to Gordon and Eric, and they was just writing songs, and we was actually putting a group called together. The name was always Touch, and but there was like 7, 8 of us. We had a real Earth, Wind, and Fire concept in mind.
Wow.
But you know how that go. Cats.
Everybody, all these personalities.
Yeah, and
clashing.
Cats. They wasn't serious enough, so it ended up Eric, Gordon, Sean, and myself. And they met Timmy Regisford in an elevator or something. Eric used to work at a jingle house. He was an assistant engineer in the jingle house, so we had a place to go cut our demos. And he already had Eric wrote Without You. But we had to redo it, and then I played like the piano solos and all that on there. All that's me. And Timmy took it to Frederick Piera at Supertronics, who had Janice Christie and a couple of other people at the time. And it was so crazy. Like, we maybe signed in late January, and we was on stage at the Garage right around our birthdays. We played the Garage for the first time March 14th, 1987.
You talking about things happening quickly.
Man, listen, we didn't even get a chance to process it. It was like, it was done. Y'all go rehearse and figure some shit out. We did that, and the next thing, and the Garage was our first show. Imagine that. We're all between 19 and 21, and that's our first show.
And the crowd up in there went up.
Oh, because first of all, I will always be in debt. Larry Levan, he was like our uncle from afar. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he heard Without You and he did not stop. He was the first one to pound it. And
Yeah.
then Tony Humphreys was like a big brother. Timmy was our mentor, or like our Joe Jackson. But we always had support from him, Merlin Bob, um, David Morales. Like we was
Mm-hmm.
around all them cats. Craig Carmen, when he was just a DJ before he became CEO of Atlantic,
Right.
he's the DJ at Area. T. Scott, Ken Carpenter, all of them. And I was already familiar with it because of a limited touch, all the clubs knew me. So I was walking in any club I wanted to when I was 14 years old. Like I wasn't waiting online, nothing. Which was great when I took a girl out. Like you
Right.
want to hang out, go to the Copacabana, walk past security, like yo, what up, and keep walking in and drink it. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But
well, they closed anyway. Who you gonna get in trouble? Shoot.
yeah. But big shout to Tony Gio and the Giuliano family who used to run the Copa, who also ran Bentleys and the Silver Shadow. Big shout to Jody, the Red Parrot. That was all theirs. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was in Bonds. I was in Better Days. I started going to the first time I went to the garage was when the Limited Touch played there. So I was 14, 15. And they played live too, no tracks. And that shit was, yo. Anybody who sees this who was there, I don't even really have to say nothing.
Right.
I hadn't seen it rock like that. There's 4 people I seen absolutely tear the garage down. 5. And an honorable mention to CeCe Rogers, because he killed it too.
With his singing style.
And that's like my brother. We argue and fight, but that's like my brother. But Grace Jones.
Oh yeah.
She tore the garage down. Chaka Khan tore the garage.
On a good day.
Yeah.
But she was good.
Yeah. She was still tossed.
Yeah, right.
She was lit. But she tore that place down. When they went in the clouds, man, listen.
Yeah.
Colonel Abrams.
Yeah.
Tore up the garage down. And the last I have to say is us. When we went into Without You on that stage, and it's on YouTube somewhere. No, the final night. We played at the garage the final night, the very last weekend. We played there. We played there maybe 4 or 5 times in one year. And
I was No, I would say I was so mad because I was too young to go in the garage when it opened. And then I went into the Marine Corps. By the time I came out of the Marine Corps, the whole thing was shutting down. Right. So I'm like, God damn, I missed all. I hear everybody talking about it. God damn, I knew I'd have been there.
But there's the live performance of us performing Without You there, Without You on the last night. It's on YouTube. I stumbled on it one night. It's a horrible, fuzzy video clip, but you could feel the energy. And it's like we was in tears because that was our home. You know what I mean? I used to love that. I met some of the baddest women I ever met in my life on gay night in the garage. That was the secret. Everybody would go for, I ain't going on. Man, listen, Saturday night is popping. Because
the kids got the girls that be hanging with them. The kids got the girls hanging with them now.
And respected you because you were straight and you was confident enough in yourself to be there.
Yep.
And, and them cats helped me learn how to dress, grooming, all that. The gay community, Touch wouldn't existed without the gay community.
Oh, no.
No. A lot of my closest friends now are gay men, and I still learn so much shit from them. And, we all go through the same relationship drama. I learned that later.
Yeah, it's the same thing, whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, whatever.
Don't make a difference.
People are people.
Unless you're in the beastology, You beefing about something. But
Okay.
yeah, so that was the story about all them people, that community. Billy Press, who ran Club Zanzibar and Club 88 in Jersey. All these cats, they were all taught me something, learned something, sat in the studio with them. They all have a thread of an investment in us
Yeah.
in some shape form.
And then, you're working on a second album for In Touch, right?
It actually came out. A couple of the videos online.
Oh, that's right. It did come
Yeah,
out.
we had a single called "Drop Dead Gorgeous"
Hmm.
that did really well internationally. Didn't do too well here, but there was a regime change at Elektra right when that
Always,
happened.
always the case.
Bob Krasnow was leaving, and Sylvia was coming in, and we were signed to Entertainment Elektra through Vincent Davis, and that's what Keith Sweat was.
Hmm.
Joeski Love, Pee Wee Dance. That's where Dougie Fresh did his first record before the show, and you know the relationships wasn't the same, so we kind of fell through the cracks. And here's a well-known secret. After that, I actually had a whole nother group that was signed to Elektra after In Touch broke up. Eric was moving to Atlanta. He started working with Keith. Um, Got to give a shout to Keith too, because he was
Yeah,
supportive. A lot of people don't realize All Night was a bigger record for us than Too Hype, our second single. That was
yeah.
top ten R&B and pop record with us and Keith Sweat. And but culturally, Too Hype changed the game. So
Yeah.
that's the one everybody, because there was no records like Too Hype before Too Hype. Teddy
No, it
was
wasn't.
doing his thing,
Yeah.
but we went harder. You know what I mean? We stripped away the gospel away from it. We came with baseline beats and melodies. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and that led to Poison. That led to Mary J. Blige. Then I remember
Now,
Puffy. I remember Puff calling me. My mother was like, "Some boy named Puffy keep calling here. What's a Puffy?" I called Puff back. I'm like, "Yo, what up?" And he's like, "Yo, we got this new artist, man. I need a Too Hype for her album. I know you got one. Blah 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 blah." I was producing. You remember the group Whistle?
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Hmm.
producing them at the time. I produced like 3, 4 songs on their last album, and Select was paying the hell out of me. And I was like, "Well, what's your budget like, Puff?" He was like, "Yo, we're at the end." I was like, eh. I'm getting 5 figures a song over here, bro. You know what
Right.
I
You
mean?
better come with some coinage.
Yeah. Now, in retrospect, if I would have known that first Mary album was going to be what it turned out to be, you know, I maybe be like figured out a way to do both. But you know, there are no
In
mistakes.
hindsight. Yeah.
There
Now,
are no
I was here.
mistakes.
I was hearing you were saying that No Diggity was
Yeah,
initially your
that
jam.
was that was the group that was on Elektra afterwards. Group Home
Okay.
Productions, GHP. It was me, the lead singer from Whistle Jazz. After he left Whistle, he came with me. He was also my production partner at the time. And Will Stewart, aka Will Skills, who was from the group Pure Blend, who used to sing background for Nice and Smooth. Whenever you saw Nice and Smooth, they had the guy singing behind them. He was the light skinned, green eyed pretty boy, and sang his ass off. He was like a mixture of Luther, James Ingram. He just had this old school soul tone that was crazy. So, and we did a whole album. As a matter of fact, I got the album. I'll send it to you.
All right.
And this is like 1992, no, 1993 to 95, probably. Spent over $2 million on the album. Like, we went in, we lived in the studio. Like, I lived in Quad. I had a bedroom in Quad.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, the night that Pac got shot, I think we gave up our room that night for that little Sean session. Like,
Hmm.
we lived in Quad. And yeah, that it just didn't work out at the end. You know, me and Vincent went in different directions. You know what I mean? And I talk shit about Vincent, and I always will talk shit about Vincent. However, he's the reason why I'm a producer. He would just put me in the studio for months at a time and just let me go, do whatever I wanted to do, experiment, learn. I would not be the producer I am without him, and I will always be thankful for that. Now, he also did a lot of bullshit, but that part, no, I would almost call him my production father because he let me build my skill set.
You got a crash course just by allowing you to, do your own thing and learn.
Yeah, it turned me into a producer. I mean,
Yeah.
somewhere he got reels of hundreds and hundreds of songs that I did. But I'm going to send you the GHP album. It was ahead of its time. And this was right around the time when Jodeci hit. And we were profane and profound. Much like Mama Likes.
Yeah.
Profane
Yeah.
and profound.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's going to get people all up and moving.
Well,
Especially,
I
especially
guess
up at the club.
we're jumping ahead, but
Yeah, we are jumping ahead.
but from what DJs are telling me, people when they hear it, they go at it like they've always heard it.
Yeah,
Like
because it has
fits.
that feel to it.
Yeah.
It's something that's it has that old school feel to it.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
and
I'm an
it's
old
raw.
school dude.
It takes me back to what well, of course, with better music. Remember what Sweet Pussy Pauline and
Jamie Principle, Frankie Knuckles,
right?
Baby Wants to Ride.
Yeah,
I used to love that record too.
yeah,
It was, but that I'm from that school. You know what I mean? I I used to watch Frankie DJ. Watching Tony Humphries, being in the booth watching Larry do his thing, and that's kind of what made me do full circle back to house.
but that's what I was going to ask you because you was doing R&B, you did hip hop,
I did
and
country. I did a bunch of joints. A
maybe
bunch of joints.
since you're in Nashville too, are you doing some more country in Nashville?
We'll see. My whole thing now is I'm trying to activate because what I was doing for country when I was here, I was VP. I ran the urban department for a publishing company when I lived here before, and the people who own the publishing company have become my family. Like they literally, I literally called the woman who funded the whole project Ma. She's really like my mother. Especially since my mother passed, she kind of stepped into that role when I'm doing something stupid, screams on me. But and no matter how old we get, we always need that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was down here, I was running the urban department, but I was taking hip hop beats and remixing country songs with them back then. And they were looking at me like I was an alien. Like, what the hell are you doing? And look at it now.
Right. Every
You know
country
what I mean?
singer's up there is using R&B beats and stuff and hip hop beats
Look at it
and
now.
singing over it.
And this
Exactly.
this is 2003, 2004. And look at it now. But it was good. I built a community down here. It's one of the reasons why I moved back down here. After my better half retired, and she was state police for 29 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so we was figuring out what to do. We was like, well, all the kids are grown, and between us, we have 7. We like the Black Brady Bunch.
Y'all got some churns.
She had 3. I had 3, and then there's one from her first marriage who's become like our daughter, like that. Not like our daughter. She's my daughter. You know what I mean? And her kids are my grandkids. You know what I mean? And so we got them from 41 to 21, bro.
Dang.
But yeah, and the little one, my youngest, just had a baby, the 21-year-old. My little nugget, Koa Blaze. So yeah, it's when we talked about it, we was like, well, there was nothing left for me to do in New York, bro. I've done
Did all the
everything.
kids move down to Nashville with you?
Hell no. All that's in this big ass house with us is the dogs. But we got a
They go,
house this. We got a house this size in case of emergencies.
yeah.
You know, it's rough out here right now.
Kids always got to have a place to land. I tell my daughter all the time, you're going to always have a room in our house, no matter where we at.
Absolutely. So
You know?
this house is like 4 bedrooms. You know, so there's room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's yeah. So we're down here, and I'm enjoying it. It gave me. I had to shed a lot of things. I had to shed a lot of people. I had to shed a lot of my own demons. After my mother passed, I absolutely went into a functional depression. Because my mother was the center of my universe. She was my safety net.
Yeah.
My safest place on earth was my mother. And we lived through a lot of tragedies. My father was murdered when I was 12. You know, people like brothers were murdered. And she was the safe. I never felt safe with nobody like I did with her and music. It's my two safe places. So when I lost her, it twisted me out crazy, and I acted like I was functioning, but I wasn't. But, somebody put me in a headlock. Michelle put me in a headlock, made me go get therapy. And one of the best things I ever did. And I finally just had my breakthrough this past Christmas.
Mhm.
It was like I have family. My niece moved down here with her new husband and her son, and they live maybe a half an hour away from me. And we was together for Christmas, and it just everything felt light all of a sudden. It's
Mhm.
like if I was carrying a piano for 3 years, all of a sudden we had a moment or something, and she had just lost her mom, who was like my mother as well, who was my mother's best friend also. And it was like her death helped me get through it all because she was my other safe place. When I wasn't with my mother, I was with my Aunt Barbara. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's amazing how at this age we're still pushing through and still growing. I guess that's what's keeping us alive.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you talk about my mother passed in 2017, and I know what you're talking about.
Same
It's
year
like,
as mine. My mother
yep.
passed. Oh no, I'm lying. She died November 17th. Um, 3 years ago, so 2023. Yeah, I got the 17s confused.
17.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Eh,
yeah. So there's nothing
it's,
like that.
mm-mm.
Yes, and I've been through a lot of atrocities in my life, more than most people should, and nothing hurt like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
And like I don't even have to know a person. When you're on Facebook and you see, oh, my mom just passed, I automatically feel a connection to that person now. You
Yeah.
know,
Because
and
you
try
lived
to
it.
tell them something
Yeah.
because there's nothing that's going to comfort you through that,
Nope.
and
You
there's no
walking around the
advice.
street, and then all of a sudden you just break out
Yeah,
into tears. You're like,
yo, it still happens. I mean, I'm not carrying the
yeah.
piano anymore,
Yeah.
but it still happens. I was watching something on TV maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I'm in the house by myself, me and the dogs. I can't remember what I was watching, but it was somebody's mother passed in the show, and I lost it for like 40 minutes in here by myself. I had to go get a drink. When I
Yeah.
got some tequila, like, pull yourself together. What you doing? You know what I mean? And I mean, but grief is like weather, erratic weather.
Yeah.
You never know
You
one
never
little
will know what's
thing,
gonna hit you. Nope.
one little and I guess that's never going to go away, and I've accepted that. But one little thing could just you could
I'm in the
smell something.
supermarket and the
Yeah,
song pop on. You know,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, that was my mother's
exactly.
song right there.
And my mother was a music fiend. My mother was probably the biggest Prince fan. You know what I mean? But she was alive. I mentioned to you before we got on air, I got a chance to do some work for him.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We
And
was going to talk about that. Yeah.
and she was alive when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And she was ecstatic. She was absolutely ecstatic. Her who? Sly and the Family Stone, Prince. She
That's
loved
my
Aretha
father.
Franklin. She loved the Shy Lights.
My mother
Uh,
was a Shy Light's head.
yeah, Blue Magic.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, more musical threads. And she took me to see everybody in concert. Ohio players. She loved the Ohio players.
Yeah.
And she took me to see all these people in concert, which, I didn't know was building me into a performer. She took me to see the Jackson 5 at least 6, 7 times, bro. At least. I saw them with Jermaine, without Jermaine. I saw the victory tour with Jermaine's back. Like I saw she made sure, and again, I don't know how she did all this, but she did it out here by herself. And my mother was an immigrant. My mother was from Russia.
What?
And yeah, my mom was from Russia, bro.
Okay.
She was born in Moscow. Long story short, my grandfather was best friends with Paul Robeson.
Mm.
For all you people who don't know who Paul Robeson is,
Beach
as
Boys.
part of your culture, you
Right.
should you should probably find out who he was, because he was
Exactly.
everything. He was an
Yes, he
athlete.
was.
He was an opera singer. He was the original star of Porgy and Bess.
Yes.
Their school was named after him. He was an
Exactly.
Olympian. He was an
Yep.
Olympian. He was like he was amazing. But anyway, him and my grandfather were best friends.
He kicked down a lot of doors.
Yeah, there would have been no Sammy Davis without a Paul Robeson first.
Right.
Like Sammy kicked it down for Michael Jackson and so forth. You know what I mean? But yeah, my grandfather and him were really close friends. Paul Robeson was tired of the bullshit here in America. He's like, I'm going to Russia. And my grandfather was like, yeah, Russia, let's go. Went out there, met my grandmother, who was raised in Russia, and had 5 little beige babies. And then came back to the States. And then as soon as they got back to the States, right after the last child was born, my Aunt Ginger, he died of stomach cancer at 36.
Mm.
So picture this. Redhead, ginger, Russian woman. I believe she was a Russian Jew. I'm still not quite sure on that. She comes to America with her husband. He dies. This is the 30s and 40s, bro.
Right.
And she's stuck with these 5 little black babies.
Mm.
And she's from Russia, so they calling her a commie,
Right.
a nigger-loving commie.
Right.
With these little mongrel kids. The government literally took my mother and her sisters away from them.
Mm.
Not even together. Put them all in separate foster homes. But my grandma Olga, being the gangster that she was, she built her own business. She started doing interior design. And 2 of the people she did interior design for was Bumpy Johnson and his nemesis, Dutch Schultz.
Mm.
And they kind of fell in love with her. My grandmother was bad. She was bad. Like, I understand why grandpa went over there and was like, see, yeah, come on.
Right.
And he they helped her get her own business. They helped her buy an apartment building in the Bronx. And she raised her 5 daughters. And when the youngest one got married, packed her shit and moved to Spain.
Mm.
So,
I ain't
that
mad.
worked
Get the hell
out.
out of here.
Yeah. But, that worked for me because I was so multicultural my entire life. So I always saw things a little different. My world was always bigger than, most of the people I was around. Because, that's just with my family. To this day, I have family. My Aunt Scott lives in Brazil. My cousin Damien lives in Greece. I got family and friends all over the world. And, luckily I've gotten to see most of the world. So it works out. But
Right.
that was the quick story about my family.
But that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, y'all got to get out there. There's more to the world than the United States. You think United States is the end all? I'm like,
No.
no.
I mean, there are some comforts here that you're only going to get here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bullshit here you're only going to get here as well.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? And I've been lucky. I've spent a lot of time in Europe. Been to Japan. I've been to a lot of places, and they each have their thing that I love. But
Right.
there's no place on earth I would have rather been born and grow up in than the Bronx, New York.
I agree with you.
No
Well, I grew up in
place.
Brooklyn, but there's no place,
I'm not gonna hold that
I love
against you.
Brooklyn.
No,
Matter of fact,
I
you,
can't
you was
front
talking about
though.
D Train. D Train I went to Erasmus Hall High School with D Train and UBD's
D
fourth
D is
and
D is the big bro. We did the Tom
yeah.
Joyner cruise together. Matter of fact, we were doing a package like short tour over the past 5 years or so. Um, with me, Strafe, Elias, God bless the dead. D Train, Keith Thompson, Break for Love, Lady Deja. No, Lady Alma. Excuse me. Sorry, Alma.
Oh,
Don't
Lady
punch
Alma,
me in
that's
my
my girl
face.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, you know she don't play. She'll punch me in my head. Lady Alma, I love her to death too.
Me too.
Deja did the Tom Joyner cruise with us though. Brighter days,
Yeah.
and yeah, we did a bunch of shows, and I would do them not even with Eric. I would do them by my. I would host the show. You know like how Steve Harvey did Kings of Comedy. He would
Comment. Uh-huh.
perform, and I'm no lead singer. I am one of them people. I am so confident in the shit I do well. I have no problem telling you what I don't do well. So I am nobody's lead singer, but I will perform without you in two hype. And I ain't got to do nothing but start the song. I become the hype man for the crowd
Right.
because they
Everybody else
know
is gonna sing it.
they know every single word. They
Okay.
know every single better than me sometimes. And,
Right.
so and then it was fun. So big shout to Kevski and Dougie's DJ Chill Will. They do that, and they're the ones who took me and Eric on the Tom Joyner cruise, and we didn't even go as In Touch. We went as Touch
Mm, mm.
because it was a house package. Even though they tried to end up getting us on other stage when they realized it was the same group. Like, well, come perform on this stage. No, we're here for
Right.
the house. We're doing the house dance, people. And
You
let's
didn't pay
let's
me for
just
two stages.
hello, hello. So that wasn't happening.
Right. You know what? They got another one coming up. Um, who I see? I see D Train on the. Oh, something coming up in Pennsylvania in the Poconos or something. They got
Mm.
this big event
Have
coming
you
on.
seen? Have you seen? First of all, D looks amazing,
Yes, he did. He shed all that weight. He's
and
keeping
I've
it
known
off.
him. I've known him since the Unlimited Touch days. I had to remind him who I was, and when he put it together, he bugged out because I was just a little fat light skinned kid running around the offices in Prelude. Marvin Schlachter, the president. Um, who was the vice president? I used to call him Uncle something, but I can't remember his name. That's fucked up because he's the one who called Eddie O'Loughlin after he heard me rap that got me the
Mm.
deal at Next Plateau. But Uncle Stan Hoffman, they ran Prelude, and I used to run around there like a banshee. You know what I mean? And I knew D from back then, so ended up doing shows with him. I'm still trying to get a house joint done with him, but that's a busy man.
Yeah, he stay on the move. Stay on.
Yeah,
He came on the podcast. He was on here last year. We chatted.
yeah. This great soul. He has a
Yes,
wonderful soul.
yes, he does. And you can just talk to him forever. And he's funny. He's
Yeah, hilarious.
open. I love that brother. So
And and he has a lot of integrity. No,
yeah,
there's not a
yeah.
lot of that in this game. And he has a lot of integrity. He's a good guy, man. I call him. It may take him a minute, but he call back always. You know what I mean? And if he got time to do something, he's like, let's give it a shot. If not, he's like, yo, I just did these records here. Give me some time. But believe me, when I do one with him, that shit's gonna be nuts.
I know it is. I know it. But, well, you share with me that one with Christopher Williams. Please.
Yeah. And
I can't wait till everybody hear that one.
yo, first of all, you gotta understand, me and Chris have known each other since I was 5, 6 years old. We went to the same elementary schools, same junior high school, same high school. We known each other basically our entire lives. So for it to come full circle, And this was when he was just getting back from his health scare. And, you know, that almost took him out. You know what I mean? I hadn't seen him in a minute, but our mutual friends, the people who are around him every day, who were going to the hospital every day, they were calling me like every day, like, yo, this is happening. When he was in the coma, they were like, yo, it's been like 2 weeks. He hasn't been up yet, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I knew every stage he went through. And you got to remember, both of us, we hit a little earlier than him with Touch, but In Touch and Chris came out the same time. So we running into each other. We're doing shows. We played Madison Square Garden together. You know what I mean? So it was like me and his lives have somehow always intertwined. We would get into trouble together. Any girlfriend I had would be like, I'm going out with Chris. No, you're not. Did not like me and Chris hanging out together. Because there was mischief.
That's trouble, right?
There was mischief that was going to be found. You know what I mean? We had some great times together. But yeah, that's my brother, man. I love that cat. So, but yeah, we did that song after his health started getting together. We were sitting on the phone one day. I was like, yo, you should try this house shit, bro. Like, your voice is perfect. It's reminiscent of Teddy. And, you know, dig about songs, you know, you can't change who you are, bad luck. Like, people miss that tone. And with you delivering it how you deliver it, you know, not trying to imitate him, but the natural resemblance, I think we could do something. And as a matter of fact, he's playing in Nashville in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to see him, and I want to touch up some of the vocals, because when I did that, I was just learning to be my own engineer. So the vocals sound cool, but what I know now, it could be amazing. So I want to recut
the next level.
Yeah, so I want to recut some of the vocals. So hopefully he'll have time when he's here. We can run in the studio for a couple hours, because he came to my house, ate a turkey and cheese hero, and sang that shit and was gone in 3 hours.
Laced it and left.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and that's when I was still living in New York. And yeah, people gonna be shocked when they hear that record though, because it's a good song. It's a good song. And I sang the demo and sent it to him, and he was able to hear what it was supposed to be. And
so you can't be that bad of a singer.
I mean, I could stay on pitch. I could hit my notes in the backgrounds. But you know, I my taste for singers, dog, is I'm an asshole. You know, when I'm producing vocals, I'm an asshole. So, you know, you'll hear on some of the songs that's coming. I didn't send you the full catalog that's coming out between now and next year, did I? The private SoundCloud page?
No.
I'm going to send it to you. It's the 5-6 songs. And I may end up replacing one or two, because in the midst of doing the rollout and doing the press run and doing the mail outs, you know, getting all my relationships with the DJs and all that, I'm in the midst. When I hit a wall with something, I just do a new joint. And I'm re-releasing Protect Your Peace, because that song fell through the cracks.
Yeah. I mean, how about to say that? That just need to be everywhere, because that song, the first time I heard it, I was like, who the hell is this? Carl was playing it. I'm like, Carl, who that?
Yeah, big shout to my twin. My twin, Carl the Third, and my brother Byron James. Do you know Byron? He's killing them right now. He's a DJ, house DJ, and he's killing them. He does he has his residency at the Rock Club in the Village, the Rock Bar in the Village, and we know I met and on them cats, and
all right.
He's a beast. He's like, when I finish something before it's done, I usually test it with two people, Carl and Byron, and then I make adjustments. I mean, you know, I'm a selfish bastard. I'm a creative. All of us are selfish to a certain degree, and so I run it through their filter. I'm always going to do what I'm going to do, but I respect their filters, and they've been great help. And I've known Byron 35 years. I've known Carl maybe a year and a half, going on 2 years, but we just clicked. When we met, and then when we found out our birthdays was on the same day, that's why we refer to each other as twin. It
Right.
was just like, and he looks like he could be in my family.
He does.
Yeah, when my family first saw him, they were like, "Oh, he looks like one of them Smiths." And I was like, "Yeah, he damn sure do." So yeah, we clicked, and I test every, and you listen to his show. I give
Oh
him
yeah.
shit to test on his show all the time,
Yeah.
and I know what I need to tweak after I hear it on there, and he's like a soundboard for me. And
Yeah.
I send you some stuff early too to get your feedback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And
it's very chosen few I trust or even care what they
it's
think.
funny, you know. I'm hearing Carl. I'm like, wait a second, you singing too, bro? He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
And now he,
I
I'm
gave
like, go
that
ahead,
boy a
bro.
track like 8 months ago, and he loves the song. I'm waiting for him. Do your vocals, damn it, Carl. Twin, do your vocals, because I want to
Yeah,
put that out next year.
cause I know you're watching. I'm
Yeah,
looking at you. I know you're
yeah,
watching, Carl.
yeah. Or if you're not watching now, you will watch later.
You know,
So,
it's funny. I was down here in my office, and I
mhm.
look across the street. Who come walking across the street but Carl?
Yeah, he
I,
because he's also a train conductor,
right.
so he's always in
So,
Connecticut.
so he came walking across the street. I'm like, Carl. He said, well, you said you're here in the morning. I said, what a surprise. Good. Come on in,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely. That's my twin. That's my brother. I got a
You
lot of
know?
love for that. I got a lot of love for that cat. Quickly too, because I'm not good
Yeah.
at letting people in. But
Me too. I'm like, wait a second. Come
yeah,
on in the house. Anybody that's open and able to be honest and share their feelings and their
mhm.
love and coming from
Exactly.
a non judgmental, non
Yeah,
biased, no, I know,
I
just
can't
love, a place of love. That's period. That's called.
listen, yo, bro. We're at a point in our lives where we're in the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter of our journey. Now we may be in the early, hopefully, in the early minutes of that fourth quarter, but we are
Mhm.
there. And I'm
Especially when
very
you see your
particular.
parents passing away, you like, damn, go. Once my
Yeah.
parents pass away, you the next one. Yeah, if you catch 20 years,
Hello. Hello. When
okay.
when I answer my phone and I got twin granddaughters and they popping up on my phone talking about what's up, G-Pa? Huh? Like y'all was just born last week. What the hell y'all calling me? Telling me about what you need and what you want. You know what I mean? So it's this is the fourth quarter. So I'm very particular about the energies I want around me on a consistent basis. I'm very particular about the frequencies I even allow around me when avoidable.
Yeah,
Because, this shit is short, bro.
it
You
is.
know,
I
at
mean,
30, we was like 60. That's a lifetime away.
word.
And that shit
Shit.
comes real
At
quick.
40, I thought it was a lifetime away. No,
Yeah.
I'm 60. Everybody said, oh, that's, you're middle age at 40. I said, I didn't feel nothing. I still felt like I was young and dropping like it's hot when at 40.
Yeah,
I
40,
didn't start feeling,
I was still out here walling.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I was still out here. I was in Nashville. I turned 40 in Nashville. And I
Mm.
was out here wilding. My crew would come down from the Bronx, and we turned Nashville upside down. And it was not the metropolis that it is now, because like Nashville is a real, real city now. Like I say, a good quarter of New York and half of LA has moved here,
Yeah. I
and
know a lot of people moved
Chicago,
from Nashville.
and Detroit. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people here. I ran into a ex girlfriend from high school in a restaurant here. What the hell are you doing here? She's like, oh, I moved here. Really? She's like, where you live? I was like, I don't live here.
Okay, don't be doing no drive-bys.
Nah, man, I don't live here. I'm just visiting. Shit, when I left New York, I didn't tell nobody, bro. We packed and boogied and moved into our house. We got down here the day before Thanksgiving, found our house, and moved in. We looked at 30, 40 houses.
Mm.
Moved in on New Year's Eve. First night I spent in here was New Year's Eve 26, 25 going into 26. So it was like an instant change. and it's all been amazing. It's one of the
Hey,
smartest things I did.
yeah. Like you said, New York is not the same the way it used to be like when we was growing up.
I mean,
It's
this
a
was a
whole
great
different.
summer. This past summer, New York looked like it was the best summer in New York in years.
Mhm.
But nah, I'm good
I
where I'm at.
I'm trying to get to the Soul Summit on Sunday because I haven't been there in a few years. I said, you know what? I haven't been down to Soul Summit in a minute.
They said the last one was crazy.
I can imagine.
The last one was nuts from what I heard. And I miss like Soul in the Horn, but I'm trying to create that. As a matter of fact, I need to get with Natasha and D Prosper because they need to do a Soul in the Horn party. Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you.
Oh, I scared my dog to death. They need to do a Solo in the Horn party down here. I think it'll do really well. And I want to bring Soulful House here. It's a big EDM thing here. There's a club here called How We Met. And they bring in some soul DJs, deep house DJs, but it's mostly like EDM. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and there's so many people who live here from Chicago and Detroit and New York and LA. A
And I know they're
real,
longing for that.
absolutely. And if I could plant my flag in this city by the person who, is to come do it, to bring it in here, that could be a whole nother thing of mine. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely on my thing. Big shout to my man Case Bloom. He does the real hip hop parties down here. Like he brought DJ Premier and MOP down here, and it
Mm,
was sold out to the rafters.
I know it was.
And MOP, they're like, I've been working with them since their first album. So that's family. And I've known Premier for 25, 30 years. So that's family. And to see them come here. Now, 85% of the crowd was white, but they knew every single word. And I don't know if you ever seen MOP on stage, but they
No,
are
I haven't.
insane. They are insane. They got that Run DMC energy. It's in a very Brownsville, Brooklyn way.
Mhm.
So yeah, man. Nashville's gonna
So,
be all right.
do you think the move to Nashville helped you to start, excuse me, Sacred Grooves?
Absolutely. How that happened was I have a very good friend. It's like my brother actually. His name is Ron Hoover. Now, when I tell you that me and this man couldn't be, well, in some ways, we are very parallel. In other ways, we are polar polar opposites. Like he's born in Texas, near the borderline of Mexico, and grew up in a place called Tullahoma, Tennessee. The name
Mm,
says it all.
right. Nobody know where that 2 blocks
Yeah,
long.
yeah. It's like maybe an hour and a half from Nashville. I tell him all the time, he's beyond the crimson. I mean, a redneck. He's a crimson neck, a deep Merlot neck. But he's my but inside, I tell him all the time, yo, you are you. I don't know when the change happened for you, but yeah, we've experienced a lot of the same things in the world that you would never think, and it bonded us. So we
Right.
became really close, and we had some other endeavors that we're doing together. And he just talking about music, and he's like, "Well, that was a great record. What happened?" And blah 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 blah. And I was like, one day, I guess, just not that I haven't like Keith Thompson has been invaluable to me because he's been my role to track source. But I want to be in charge of the rollout. I want to be in charge of the packaging, the artwork. Win or fail, I want to wear that coat
Right.
and micromanage. And so he was like, "Well, what would that take to happen?" I was like, start a label, get the distribution with the right company, and blah 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 blah. And he was like, "What do you need?" And I told him, and he was like, "Done."
Wow.
I'm like, "Done. That's what you need. Done." And here we are today, a reality. Sacred Grooves Recordings.
That's what I'm
Um,
talking about. Now,
yeah,
you plan
and
on bringing other artists with it, or
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I'm not waiting on them though. And any new artist, I'll probably feature on one of my joints first. Make sure the
Mm-hmm.
chemistry is right. Make sure the work ethic is right. Make sure the mindset is right. And then if they want to do something further, let's rock. Like my next single, you heard I sent you Be Strong, right?
No, I didn't get Be Strong.
Oh, I gotta send you that. I'm gonna send you the SoundCloud page.
Okay.
That's gonna be the next single, and it's me and NK Morton. Her name is Nika. She used to be an artist on Island Def Jam. She's beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful chocolate sister, and she sings even more beautiful than she looks.
Mm.
And Be Strong is actually a flip of Searching to Find the One.
Mm.
I had to do it for the family. I had to.
That's it.
And Lenny did a solo on it for me. So and
So
before
that's gonna be bad.
yeah, and before I even finished it, I sent it to all the members of Unlimited Touch to get their blessing. And once they gave it, I would say that's the next single. Because I will be
Oh,
releasing singles every 6 to 8 weeks for the rest of the year.
well, I'm on it.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know you're
yeah.
gonna hear it on the BAAS Entertainment show.
Yeah, well, as soon as we're done, I'm going to send you the SoundCloud page so you can hear everything that's coming. All the singles so far. Again, subject to change because I've been doing some shit in here. But yeah, man. But that's how Sacred Grooves came to be. Um, that's why I renamed my whole project "Free the Dream and the Grand Design" because I could bring people in. You know what I mean? That's how I got put on. I have a cat down here named Joey Ritchie, who was my artist at the publishing company when I worked here, and he's one of my favorite singers on the planet. And he I brought him in on a joint, and when I tell you he killed it. I mean, I already knew he had the capabilities, but he was born and raised in Nashville. He don't know nothing about house, especially not soulful house. He thinks house. He thinks Diplo. You know what I mean? He didn't know nothing about Louis Vega. He didn't know nothing about Stacy Kidd or none of them cats. So I'm teaching them. And I have another cat that's in my little brother down here, Antoine, amazing bass player. He plays bass for all the country acts down here. But I'm teaching him. And he sings like Bill Withers. So I gotta imagine Bill Withers on a house joint, bro.
Mm.
So and he knows he owes me a vocal. If you seeing this, Twan, stop playing.
Right.
Yeah, I got a list of people. I want to do a joint with Kenny Boleen.
Yeah,
I've
that's my
known
brother.
him for 30 years. I've been producing on the last 3 CC albums. I produced on each of them. You know what I mean? Last CC Rogers albums. So
Mm.
I definitely got he owed me one for the grand design. So we're gonna definitely gonna get him on one. I have a wish list of people that I want to work with, but I also want to bring a lot of new people in.
Now, do you DJ?
I keep being told that I got to start. Everybody's
That's what I'm
telling me
trying
like
to.
free.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right, so now you got to go out and DJ these songs.
See, but here's the thing. As a kid, come on, you from New York, we all DJ.
True.
I had turntables and a mixer in my bedroom. I did people's birthday parties and stuff like that. I was more of a rapper than I was a DJ. But yeah, I know the basics, and my daughter is a DJ. She lives in DC. She has a residency in Brooklyn. She does the everyday people party in London. Like she's doing it. They call her the Queen of U Street in DC.
All right.
So she get hit me to because I'm gonna have to learn Serato and all that. But if I do it, I want to do it different. Like I'm gonna make songs while I'm DJing.
Right.
I'm gonna have a keyboard, a sequencer, and so everything they hear, if I'm playing something that inspires me, I'm gonna program something right there and mix it in live. Keep a singer with me, sing a hype man, and just go like big ass jam sessions.
Yeah.
That's the way I would want to do it if I'm going to do it.
It reminds me. I used to do concert promotion in the city for independent artists in the early
Oh.
2000s.
Uh-huh.
And Russell Taylor was the host.
Uh-huh.
And Russell would get in the audience and he was passing the mic before DJ Cassie was passing the mic. He would get in
There
the
you
audience
go.
like, all right, you sing. Because there was always some singers in the audience, from Karen Wheeler to,
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly Nicole. I mean, everybody would come to these shows because I put together a badass show. I will tell you right now. Right?
Who were some of the people you were booking for the shows?
We had Allison Williams, Trina Bashard,
Dope.
Gordon Chambers, China
Gordon.
Black,
Mm-hmm.
Darian Dean,
You
Chandler.
was bringing the cats. You was bringing the if you know cats.
Exactly.
That's dope.
So
That's
those
dope.
are the people that we had on the show.
Okay.
And that's how I started winding up doing this podcast, because after COVID, I retired from Transit Authority. I worked there for 29 years. And I said, you know what? Everybody's sitting at home. Let me call them up. Come on in. Come on and chat with a brother. So
Listen,
that started
man.
during COVID. I called my girl Lettucey up because I knew she had a podcast. I said, Let, what did you do? And her husband got on the phone and said, well, you need to get this. Gave me the list of equipment to get.
Next time you talk to her, please
Mm-hmm.
tell her how much I adore her. Never met her,
Okay.
but I watch her interviews, and we ain't even going to get into her singing.
Right.
That's, she's one of the ones, like her, Layla Hathaway.
Yeah.
All everybody in that, it's like a little box of them, dog.
Yeah.
That not enough people know. But I absolutely, I have a crush on her voice. That's the phrase I want you to use. Free said he has a crush on your voice. I would blindfold and put headphones and do this diminish shit to her voice.
Right. Well, she's moving to New York because she's going to be doing Broadway in October.
And she should. And she absolutely should. She should be on Broadway. Because her voice, that's like Cynthia. I can never say her last name. Yeah.
Erivo.
Yeah. That's she has the capabilities of that. And that woman made me cry. I went to go see I was going to say Purple Rain. I went to go see The Color Purple, and I had front row seats. My big ass, and I was way bigger then, sitting in the front row. I took Michelle for her birthday, crying like a baby over her voice. But we Pisces, man.
Yeah, we do.
It don't take much.
I would do that as a kid. I would be just playing all the slow jams, all the heartfelt songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my father's like, matter of fact, Stevie Wonder's "Isn't She Lovely" made me cry when I was a kid. And my father's like, what the hell are you crying about?
Like, you couldn't even explain it, right?
I'm like, he's talking about his daughter, and I just feel it.
You know what used to do that to me? Mr. Bojangles when I was a kid. Whenever I would hear that song, because that's a sad ass song.
Yes,
but
it is.
There's still like songs today that I can't really listen to without crying. Landslide.
Sam Cooke, forget about it.
Oh man, listen.
Change gonna come. To this day, I was watching Sam Cooke's story, still cry. That song just does it.
Yo, Leela's James version of that?
Oh yeah.
Crazy. But yo, if I hear Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, I gotta get away from it if I'm in public. There's a song by R. Kelly that most people don't know, which I actually feel was like a major cry out for help. It's called Three-Way Phone Call. Have you ever heard it?
No, that one don't ring a bell with me.
It's him, Kelly
Price.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get this age, your memory be wilding. Gospel singer. She is amazing. She's like one of the ones in the gospel world. She just had a bunch of controversy not that long ago. Shut up. You're not in the interview.
One of the Campbell sisters?
No. It's not one of the Campbell sisters. Oh my God. You're gonna make me look it up.
Kim Burrell?
Shit. Yes. Kim Burrell, Kelly Price, and R. Kelly. Listen to that song, bro. Listen
I
to,
am. When I
and
get
when
off
you
when I
listen
get
to,
off this, I got to check that out.
yo, it literally, you hear him at the end of that song, he knew he was fucked up.
Mm,
He knew, and on that song, he's laying it all out there. I mean,
mm.
I think that he has a dark soul. I think that somebody broke him as a child, and he just continued the behavior, no excuse. Everybody had crosses to bear. Everybody had to break a behavior, and he didn't. So everything that's happening to him, he deserves. But in my
He,
mind, he's the Stevie Wonder of our generation. He was that
uh,
prolific.
yeah, R. Kelly's bad brother.
Come on.
Yes,
He
he
could
is.
go from write a
Yeah,
song, you remind me of my Jeep, to I believe I can fly.
I can fly.
How
Yeah,
many people got range like that, bro?
yeah,
Come on,
yep.
whew. I posted a song on Instagram. I used it as a back. Oh, you know how people do on Instagram your favorite R. Kelly songs, your favorite Jodeci songs,
Yeah.
and I put it. He got a song called "Trade in My Life," gospel song with him and Kirk Franklin, which is
Mhm.
another one of my favorites. And I put it up, and my daughter hit me like, "We do not support him." I was like, "Listen, you got to negate the art from the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have to. I'm sure you got friends that did some grimy shit that's still your friends. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So there's
And
a difference.
and we all have, like you said, we all have done some shit.
Yes,
You
yes.
know.
I definitely got some shit to answer for when I get there. My mother gonna be waiting right there, be like, "Go ahead, just tell him you sorry."
Right.
You know, because if it wasn't for music, it would have been a totally different free life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because the way I was going, yeah, yeah. Because the
But,
less you
but but
get,
look at you now, brother. Look at you
yeah,
now.
yeah, man. And
You
it's
know,
like,
and just getting bigger and better.
yeah, I'm trying.
You
That's the
know.
purpose. If you don't evolve, you die, bro. You
Exactly.
die. Which is what
Exactly.
I've been talking to people and doing online conversations about this whole AI thing. I told you I
Right.
wanted to talk about this a little bit.
Right. 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 Because
Uh,
I
Go ahead. Tell me your views on
no.
it.
Well, at first I was, I don't want to hear no AI anything. 'Cause initially, that's how I came out my bag with. But then I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to a friend of mine that was a producer and a songwriter, and she was like, "With Troy, I came up with this AI artist because I wrote all these songs, and I asked people to sing them. They either say yay, nay, or I'll get
Give
to
me
it
a
later,
month.
or they want too much money, or whatever it is. Then the cost that it takes to put the band together, to do all that type of studio
Yeah.
cost of all of it,
And
it's
you
like
gotta
it's
wait to
ridiculous,
hear. You have to wait to hear your idea completed. That's
right?
torturous, though. For a creative, that is torturous. And
Exactly. So she's like, I just know all this daggone music, and I got to get it out there, and this is the best way for me to do it.
okay, I'm getting ready to twist you out real quick.
Go ahead.
The vocals on "Protect Your Peace" is AI. I wrote every word. I wrote the melodies and all that, but I sang it, put it in Suno, and made the artist that I wanted. Because if you look at it on the bottom, it says "Finsta Baby."
Prince the baby. Mm-hmm.
Finsta Baby is AI.
Mm-hmm.
I literally made him. If I didn't tell you, would you know? And that's my thing about AI. Perfect example. Let me give you the breakdown. When Bob Dylan won Electric, the world was in chaos. When Miles Davis went from traditional jazz to electric jazz mixed with funk, the world was in chaos. When Stevie Wonder started using synthesizers instead of orchestras, oh, you're cheating. That's not real. When sampling came into play, and that's the closest parallel to this. AI ain't nothing but sampling, bro. Except you're creating it. Now, I mean, people literally told us Too Hype wasn't real music. I had old school musicians was like, oh, y'all ain't producers, y'all ain't musicians. That ain't real music. I'm like, are them people really shaking their ass and singing the song? What you talking about? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So AI is a tool. People will try to make it replacements. But first of all, you got to realize AI is not going nowhere. It is cemented until they come up with the next thing. It is there. They already figured out how to make their money off of it. All these labels are doing deals with the different AI companies. Now, here's the cheat. Well, first of all, I saw it coming. A friend of mine, Legs, told me maybe 2 years ago he got into AI early for some music, but he does a lot of things with it. And he basically told me, listen, bro, it's the future. So I found a course, paid my little $1,700, and I took a course. One of the smartest things I ever did. Because before it hit, I already knew how to make it what I needed it to be. To me, it's like sitting in the studio with a bunch of musicians and telling them what to do. All right, you play the bass like this. You blah blah. To me, it's the same premise. You hired a bunch of session musicians, or you hired a bunch of session singers, and produced them. It's the same thing. Now there will be novice. And did I lose you? Oh, there you go.
My partner calls, and I'm like, you know, I'm doing the podcast now. Hold on, I gotta send a text message because they'll keep calling.
Okay.
And because what happened,
what I was saying, that's right. You had to go on your phone today.
Right.
But what I was saying is, oh yeah, there are going to be some novice who luck up, get a couple of hits. You know what I mean? Because they just said the right thing at the right time, and AI took it and made something dope out of it. They're not creatives; they're programmers that lucked up. Not even that, because half of the people go to ChatGPT to get the right prompt to what they're trying to get, and then they put that in. There's no human feeling in that, and you can get human feeling out of AI. I proved it already. You know what I mean? Stacy Kidd has proved it already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the name too? Joey Cabrera.
Yes. And here's my thing. I feel you got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't act like you didn't use it as a tool. That's like using a Fender guitar and not giving them credit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Forthcoming. But here's the thing, especially for myself, and it's a little bit historic, a little bit of arrogance, a little ego, but there's nothing you could tell me that I can't use. I was in the studio cutting songs together with tape and razors.
True.
I've been making records since it was 6 people in the room, and one person makes a mistake and everybody got to start all over. I was doing records before there was automation, and it was 5 of us at the board to be like, okay, we all gonna punch out the drums together. 1, 2, 3, bow. Somebody mess up, got to do the whole mix over.
Right.
You had to come back to the studio the next day, and the assistant engineer had to turn every knob to get back the exact mix that you had the day before, and it was never quite the same. You can't shame me. I've done it all. You know what I mean? And this is just another tool to complete my vision.
Now, one thing I say, now, like in your particular case, you aren't really trying to go on tour as this artist or as Since the Baby or whatever. And like you said, if you do have somebody that can sing, you get somebody to sing it. But when you create this whole artist as if that person is
there's
a person,
there's no integrity in that.
That's what I don't agree with.
No, and I agree. And I agree. And I love like TrackSource and Billboard now. They literally have a system. You go on TrackSource and look, they got colors for AI assisted, for all human. I've seen a couple of mistakes on there because I could hear AI a mile away now.
And some people use the same, like it's 2 different DJs, but the voice is almost the same. There's a certain it's a certain sound that's doing it. I was like, well, that sound is the same person. So
or
that
the
must
or the
be AI.
drops or the
Yeah,
drops are a specific way. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And here's the other thing. If I do take something from Suno musically, I never liked the way they played exactly, but they give me ideas for arrangements of songs,
right.
and I just take in and I replay everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now, not everybody could do that, and
right.
I'm humble enough to go, well, use what you can to get what you need to do. Look how many amazing producers came out of sampling. Look at DJ Premier. He is a virtuoso, bro. Look at Jay Dilla. He was a genius. Didn't know how to play shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the same skill sets will be applied to AI. And I like to think I'm a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to using it. But I ain't got no problem. I want a song done. I ain't waiting for nobody, bro. Life's too short. And I've created my singers, and I'm going to do what it do. You don't like it? Don't dance to it. I dare you. I don't dare
But
you.
you know that ain't happening.
And my thing is, people, you know, judgmental of shame, judgmental of change, of evolving. Evolving scares people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I don't care what the tool is. You can always have a sense of integrity with it. You know what I mean? So that's my views on AI. It's just another tool.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
to work out the business of it better, because I
Exactly.
know Too Hype has been a learning curve
Yeah,
to teach AI. You know what I mean? I've heard things. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty close, and I'm not getting a
yeah.
dime from
Somebody.
it. They,
Right, right.
they
So if
need to
you
figure.
using right,
Yeah,
they need to.
they need to
You,
figure it out.
but that's going to be difficult. How do you figure out? Well,
They need to pay publishing companies a percentage or a flat fee every year. Now, here's where the bullshit comes: where the publishing companies pay the artists, or where they keep the money and black box it, hold
right,
it for 5 years, make 50 million over the interest, and then give everybody $2,500.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's it's the music business, bro. It's a slimy world, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this myself.
exactly,
And
exactly.
again, there's nothing I could get from AI that I can't replay. Because sometimes they give you a great idea, but it sounds like shit. They're getting better with it though. Sometimes I could lift a bass line right off of there and go, do I have to replay this? Oh no, I could just mix this bass line in. And they're making it so you could snatch a stem. Because my process of when I use I could have a 2-minute idea with a melody and a hook. And I upload it and go, okay, make this feel like Free the Dreamer. And it makes it feel like me. And I'll test
Mhm.
it every now and then and be like, what would it sound like if Louis Vega produced this? What would it sound like if Prince produced this? You know what I mean? Just to give other inspirations, other colors. But it all starts with an original idea. I have never just prompted a song from scratch. I couldn't do that. I couldn't trust it enough.
Right.
That's like telling a bunch of musicians go in the room,
And
do a
y'all just
song
start
about such
playing
and
and see what
such.
come out.
Yeah. No, no. Uh-uh.
You need some type of guidance in there.
And as far as the performance angle, um, then you'll remember this era. Groups like Change, Log, all them groups from the 80s on the independent labels. None of them motherfuckers was groups, bro.
No,
They wasn't
no,
artists. The
no,
management teams, those were producers who would put a bunch of session players in a room. Luther was never a member of Change. He
nope.
was the session singer.
Yep.
He came in and got $500 to sing a song. It jumped off. We need you to perform this live. Because they wasn't going to find nobody to sound like Luther.
Ever.
You know what I mean? So this it's the same thing. All this shit repeats, Troy. And it's the same thing with on different platforms. You know? And I was there. I was in the studio when Funky Sensation was recorded. I was sitting right there. I was there the day Kenny Nicks added the hand claps to Heartbeat by Tanya Gardner, because I'd never seen a hand clap machine before. I was like, I seen him pressing this button. I'm like, well, where the hell the hand claps coming from? He was like, it's all in here. You know, I was there when Crown Heights Affair, Ray Reid, William Anderson, and them produced Searching to Find the One. I'm, you know, I've seen it from its rawest, most, what they call it, organic state to what it is now. And you take the same integrity from that and use it on a new tool. I wish Prince was alive. He would probably hate it at first, but I bet you he would get something out of it that no one else could.
Yeah, right. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of Prince, we didn't even talk about you working with Prince.
Oh yeah, real quick, how that happened.
Yeah.
All praises due to the Honorable Dougie Fresh.
Mm.
I've known Dougie since high school. His manager was my music teacher at Truman High School, Dennis Bell. So we got to know each other from back then. And then we kind of reconnected on the Without You 2 Hype days. And, you know, he's one of the few people I consider a friend. We don't even talk a whole bunch, but I consider him a friend. If I call him and tell him I need it, like when I got married the first time, I called him and was like, you in town? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I need you at my wedding. He was there on Bartow Avenue in the Bronx. he was there. You know what I mean? And that's what real friendship is. That ain't talking to somebody every day. Or we could go a year sometimes before we see or talk to each other. But it's like we pick up right where we left off the conversation. No, same way with B Slade, who you're well acquainted with.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's my little brother.
Yeah.
I may talk to him 4 times a year. But I love that man and he loved me. You know what I mean? It's like, first of all, my respect for his talent. The world has no idea how talented that motherfucker is.
At all.
Like, vocally,
like ridiculous.
Anybody.
Right.
You could put him up again. I put like him, Bilal, Rashad Patterson.
Yes.
They're in that little box I was talking about with the female singers.
Yeah.
You know, they could go up against anybody on this planet.
But you put that box together because I always tell a story. We were in Long Beach, California, and Rashawn was having his album release party, his after hours album release party. And he had Lettucey, Layla Hathaway, himself, and Rochelle Farrell.
Oh my God. That ain't on video nowhere?
No. There's a little clip somewhere. I seen it on YouTube. It's like a minute-long clip. You know, they had to turn the lights on at that place. You know, everything in LA closes at 2:00.
2, yeah.
They sang to 2:00 in the morning. The owners had to turn the lights on and play. So y'all got to get up out of here. They were still on the stage singing.
That's absolutely crazy. I can't even imagine the sonics that was coming from them people's throats. Pause. But yo.
And they all sang together on the stage for the whole time. They were just vibing off each other. They would go from one to each song.
Only person was missing from that was Layla Hathaway. Can you imagine?
No, Layla was there.
Oh, you said Layla Hathaway?
Yeah, it was Layla.
You said Lettucey.
Lettucey.
All of them
Layla
together?
Hathaway, Rashawn Patterson, and Rochelle Farrell.
All of them together.
Yes.
That's nuts. Oh, that's
it was insanity. I took my cousin with me to that show. She said, that's the best show I've ever been to in my life.
Yo, that's like vocal orgasms, bro.
Okay.
That's euphoria. Only person was missing was B Slade.
Right. Right.
So anyway, we talk like we friends too much. It's a podcast. People listening.
Right.
The Prince thing.
Yeah.
So Dougie and Prince were really close friends. Like Dougie was touring with him at one point. Because, matter of fact, I was there and I personally heard Prince call him. He would say, Dougie Fresh is my coach. Because nobody kills the stage like Dougie Fresh. And here's the thing with Dougie. You know what he's going to do. You know when he's going to do it. You know how it's going to do it. And it never seems redundant. That is the performer's performer. That's that Michael Jackson shit.
And Luther was like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It
You
was
knew what he was
Luther
gonna do. Every show was just about the same, but it felt fresh.
every time.
Yep.
So he had asked Dougie to do a remix. And Dougie's like, nigga, I beatbox. What do you mean do a remix? He's like, I don't care, put your crew together. And the first person he called was me. Because me and Dougie used to argue over Prince and Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always say there would be no Prince without Michael Jackson.
Right.
He opened up that door for Prince to be Prince. And
Right.
he just ran a complete different direction.
Right.
But if Michael didn't exist, Prince wouldn't have been the Prince that we know.
True.
So I give that homage, but I always resonated more with Prince.
Right.
Again, the profane and the profound. You know, there's nothing in the world you shouldn't be able to write about. And as you see with me, I very much follow that rule.
Right.
And so anyway, he asked him to do a remix. He asked me to come. I got my man Butter involved, or maybe Dougie called Butter. I don't remember. Chill Will. We went in and did this remix. The song is "Come On" off the New
Mm-hmm.
Power Soul album with him and Chaka Khan. First of all, can I tell you the honor of hearing a reel with Chaka Khan's raw vocals on it? Yo, she ain't human, bro. And to put herself, what she's put herself through,
and still doing it.
Man, listen.
That's my girl. I love that's how all this stuff started is with Chaka Khan. That's how I want to be in where I'm at now is with Chaka.
Listen, bro. That shit was an experience in and of itself. But we did the remix. Now, what we, unbeknownst to us, he had Q-Tip do a remix. He had Pharrell do a remix. All of the same song. He only kept ours. And here's my euphoric moment from it. First of all, I took his chorus and redid it. I was like, all right, let's cut it this way. Ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. And then we had Butter sing with Prince and Chaka on the remix. And I heard a guitar line that he didn't do. I played guitar on it. And he kept my motherfucking guitar tracks. I could have died.
Right I have lived.
I could have died right then. I'm like, I just figured he would play it over. He kept my guitar tracks. I'm like, yo, man, listen. None of y'all could tell me nothing. And I don't fancy myself a guitar player. I know how to play guitar. There's a difference. You know what I mean? I'm not a guitarist.
Right.
But I could play anything I hear in my head. And he kept my guitar parts. I was like, yo, I'm good. And then soon after that, Lauryn Hill was playing at the Garden. And Commissioner Gordon was also doing her sound for her tour. So he was like, come to the show. So I'll go to the show. I run into one of my boys, take him in with me. And we're in the booth. And I think I had spoke to him one time on the phone before. Can't remember. But I see the crowd like a murmur going on in the crowd. And first I see Londell McMillan, the lawyer. And I knew Londell a little bit through Dougie because him and Dougie were really close. Then I see Doug. I'm like, yo, Doug, what up? He's like, yo, but he keeps walking. And then behind that, I see this real tall, light-skinned kid who turned out to be Aaron, who I got cool with, was head of Prince security. And then here comes Prince and Maite. He was married to Maite at the time. And I was stuck, bro. I told this story on Halftime Podcast, but I was stuck. I ain't say hi. I ain't go near him. I ain't say nothing. I stood behind Gordon. And he already knew I was. I'd already been paid and all that. And I'm sure Dougie was like, yo, that's free in the booth. Right. So I had my man rock with me, Sticky from Sticky in the Hood. Shake what your mama gave you. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
with me. And Prince and Sticky Rock, they're talking like they went to high school together, yo. They laughing, they cracking jokes. And at some point, Prince leans over and goes, yo, that's free, right? And Rock's like, yeah. He was like, yo, is he upset with me? He's like, no. He's like, he ain't say what's up, nothing. And I guess he feeling like, yo, I put him on my joint, I paid him.
Right.
But I was stuck in that, be careful of meeting your idols.
Yeah, yeah.
And Rock was like, yo, go talk to that man. What's wrong with you? And I went and said, what's up? And all I could muster out, the first thing I was able to muster out was like, yo, thank you. And he was like, nah, thank you. I need more of them beats. I need you to play guitar the way you did on it. It was raw and it felt right. And blah, blah. I was like, yo, this ain't life, bro. Because this is my idol.
Right.
Again, I used to play hooky and learn how to play Prince songs. I would be in the mirror. I'll put on a trench coat and be in the mirror playing the parts. And I'm sitting here and yeah. So I actually got to work with my musical hero. I have several musical heroes, but he's the
Wow.
one. I mean, I learned how to talk to girls from listening to Prince records.
Because he
It
talk a
is,
whole lot of shit on the record, don't
yeah, and
he?
and it gave me a self-esteem. I mean, CC Rogers did a piece on Facebook recently talk about, big men and their confidence. And he's like, he had insecurities, but he said the one person he always knew who was never insecure was me. First of all, my mother loved me too much for me to be insecure about anything. I did have imposter syndrome for a long time. Where I'm making this money off of music, and I'm like, they paying me for this?
Right.
I can't be good enough for this because of the people that I put on pedestals. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it took me a while, but I am completely convinced and can confirm to you at this point in my life, I'm dope as shit at what I do. You know? And
And
once I
if
got
you don't
past
feel it,
that,
nobody else gonna feel it.
hello.
You.
But I've always when it came to girls or whatever, I mean at one point I got so big I was damn near 400 pounds at one time. And at that time I was easily dating 12, 13 girls at one time. You know what I mean? So I never had, but I got that confidence and I learned how to talk to women differently and approach them differently and try to touch them cerebrally before I touched them anywhere else.
Right.
And I learned that from Prince records. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and here I am talking to this guy. It was absolutely amazing. We didn't get a chance to do a whole bunch of more stuff, but it was the fact that I stayed outside all night to buy tickets to go to this man's concert, and he's sitting here, we're talking, and he's like, I love what you did on my song, and that's why I kept the guitar track, and it don't get no better than that, bro.
No. It, it, it's like the same thing with me and Shaka. That's similar how it went down. And then, matter of fact, I met Prince
Uh-huh.
backstage with Shaka. Shaka and Patti LaBelle was on tour together in 1999,
I remember
and
that.
and at Madison Square Garden, Prince was there.
Prince showed up,
Yeah, and I was
and
like,
when you talk to him, this is the nigga from North Minneapolis, bro,
right,
who watched the Mac. Like,
yeah,
his whole psychology was pimp. He
yeah,
was a pimp.
yeah.
The way he walked around. Look at
The
how he dressed in
cane
that.
when he
Go back.
wind up getting the cane.
Yeah. And then go back and watch some of the black exploitation movies. The
Yep,
way they dress, the flamboyance and all that.
yeah, yeah,
He took that, mixed it with a little Richard, mixed it with
right,
some James Brown and some Sly Stone.
yeah.
And I don't think no one ever created an air about themselves better than Prince, though.
No, nobody,
No,
nobody.
and first of all, was absolutely the most self-confident human I've ever met in my life. If he had any breaks, I didn't know it, but people was
Right,
probably calling him midget his whole life.
right,
You know what I mean? So he had to build that. I was fat free my whole life. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And that didn't stop me from playing basketball And at one point, I was pretty damn good. I could jump, always could jump way higher than I could have. Always could dance and do athletic stuff that I shouldn't have been able to do. You know, we was talking about our knees and stuff. Now my knees be
Right.
like, yeah, but yeah, I had a confidence in me, and I learned real early. I can't remember who told me, but if this is like if you can get anybody's attention, undivided attention for 10 minutes, there's some sort of connection to be explored there. Be it business, be it a girl that you like, or whatever. If you can get their undivided, if they give you 10 minutes of their time, there's a possibility for whatever your goal is with that person. And once I understood that, no one's unobtainable unless they're not going to
Yep.
give you 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's not even I got never been arrogant or conceited, but always had a very healthy love for myself. Of course, I had the
Right.
teenage shit like everybody else.
Right.
Wanting to impress people and stuff like that. But who needs that shit once you're a grown man? Give me my
Exactly.
sneaker collection, and I'm happy. I got a
Yeah.
fresh pair of kicks on. I feel great.
Yeah. I know people that want so many superficial things and this and that. I'm like, I'm so content with myself right now at this age. I don't even care.
Listen,
You know. And
I've lost a lot of weight, but that was because you're getting older and you can't bounce back the way you used to. You know what I mean? And never had a surgery in my life, Troy. From the 2000 from 2014 to 2024, 25, or 2015 to 2025, I had 10 surgeries, brother. You know what I mean? I had a quadruple bypass. I had walking pneumonia for like 3 months. I had no idea my organs just shut down. I would throw up if I walked too fast, but I thought I had bronchitis or something. And it was nah. My body was full of fluid. They had to drain me 2.5 days of pneumonic fluid before they could even do surgery. Yeah. And then I beaten cancer twice. You know what I mean? Like I had extreme diverticulitis.
mm-hmm.
And they had to cut off 3 feet of my intestines and clean all my intestines out. It was I've been through some shit the past 10 years. And then after that, I got a crazy hernia because they didn't do something right and it broke through the mesh. So my last surgery, they had to go in to fix the hernia and then found a bunch of scar tissue and shit that was clogging up. I've been through. So that's how come I started dropping all this weight and was like, what I can control, I control. That's my favorite LeBron James quote. Control the controllables.
Yeah.
And I feel great. I like the way I kind of always like the way I look. But I'm liking the way I look, and my kids are happy, my woman's happy. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, but we are the OGs now.
Yeah. I
So,
know.
used to go
I
out and
don't feel like
have
no damn OG, but in the grand scheme of shit.
I do experience. I feel
Yeah.
experience wise OG.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a lot, probably more than I should have before I was 40.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful life, Charlie Brown.
That's right. And it's just getting better. I got
It
so much
is.
more stuff I want to do.
Listen, I'm gonna rock every day till it's over. And you know what?
Exactly.
This is kind of morbid, and I don't mean to bring the energy down, but once you lose a fear of death, there's a freedom that comes with that.
Yeah.
Once you accept it as the natural course,
yeah,
none of us know how we're gonna go. You know what I mean? I hope not to go out in a ball of flames and get burnt the fuck up under some shit.
Right.
But the bottom line is we're all gonna go, and it's unavoidable, and it's inevitable. And losing my mother really made me come to grips with that, because it completely took away my fear of death.
Yeah.
At one point, I had a surgery soon after she died, and the doctor told me when I woke up, he's like, "You lost your mother recently, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" Because he said, I said on the operating table, if something goes wrong and I don't come back, it's okay. I'll be with my mother. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Which made me break out in tears, and also let me know that I had some depression shit going on that I really had to deal with.
Yeah.
Because you're never more honest than you are when you on that Michael Jackson juice. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but totally removed my fear of death, and it's a freedom.
Yeah.
And there's a song by
And
Prince called "Style," and in the song he says, "Style is no fear of death,"
yeah,
and I agree
it's
wholeheartedly and
true.
completely. You
Because,
know,
once I realized also everything isn't always the way people say, oh, you're going to hell, you're going this, blah, 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 blah.
man, that's man
And
made. Anything that's fear
exactly,
based is man made.
exactly. So once I saw for my own self that
Mm-hmm.
there are spirits that have passed and they still speak to you,
Yeah,
they still letting you know stuff,
yeah.
you know, or they letting somebody else know something and they telling you, and I'm like, how the hell you know
Mm-hmm.
that? That spirit had to tell them that,
Hmm.
you
Yo,
know?
I actually,
So,
it's a song that's coming out, probably not the 2027, one of the joints I did. And it's about celebrating. And there's a line in there that goes something like, like you partied it. What did you do after the toast? I said, and the next line is, I spent the rest of the day talking to my mother's ghost.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a reality, and there's no way this is the end. Come
no,
on.
no,
And if it is, there's nothing you can do about it.
exactly.
I believe we come back. I'm not sure if I want to come back again,
Right.
but there may be some adjustments that they may be like, nah, homie, you got a couple more tours. You was in the service. You got a
Yeah.
couple more tours of service to do. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Before you totally up out of here.
Yeah.
You're right. I think every time you come here is a different learning thing. You didn't learn something that you supposed to learn last time.
Well, shit.
Then
I
you
wish
come
I
back.
knew when I was 30 or 25 what I know now.
Right.
I would have been a better person. I would have kept better people around me.
Right.
And as Pisces, we're empathetic and we're loyal to a fault. And we tend to lay our loyalty sometime in undeserving places.
So true.
And everybody walks away and lives their life and good. And you're left there. Now you gotta go through whatever you had to go through because of your sense of loyalty.
Yep.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And it took me a long time to learn that. And I also had to learn not everybody's around forever. Some people
Nope.
are in your life for
Yep.
a season and a reason. Ooh, a season. I think I did a track class and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to write about. I think
That's
I
it.
just got it.
What is
Yeah.
it? I just thought of a new song. That's it.
Yeah, a season, man. Some shit is
Yeah.
just for the season. And can't be sad about it. You appreciate what it was, why it was.
It's a learning.
And
It was a learning experience.
don't you wish you knew all this at 30?
You're trying to hold on to some craziness that you should be letting go.
Yeah.
Let that
You
go.
know,
Why you holding on to that for?
business
It ain't meant
situations,
to be.
friendships, love relationships, what I mean? Family members sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
this point in my life, and this is another true thing, is loving and loyal and empathetic as we are, when we done, we done.
Yeah.
It's like I could walk past you and you be on fire, and I
Yeah.
would light a Newport off of your nipple. You know what I mean?
I, that reminds me
So,
one time, me and my cousin, I was a little kid. We was
mm-hmm,
teenagers, and I was mad at his ass, right?
mm-hmm,
And he still lived. He lived at home. He lived at my grandparents' house, so I would still
mm-hmm,
have to go there and see my grandparents.
mm-hmm.
And I'll be downstairs talking to my grandparents. He'd come downstairs talking to me. I would act like he was not in the room.
No, when we're done,
He's
we're
like,
done.
it's like Troy. He'd be right in my face, and I'd be like,
Mm.
I am not talking to you. Then he would chase me down. I would go home, walking down to Nostrand Avenue to get on the 2 train at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
he chasing me. Troy, Troy. I ignored that ass all the way home. I ignored him for
Listen,
about a year, 2 years, something like that.
yeah, listen. And in the 80s, I was Brooklyn heavy. I would travel from uptown in the Bronx to go hang out in Marcy every day. That was 2 hours and change
Yeah.
every day. I would go hang out with my man. They used to call him Cocaine, my man Chris. I would go hang out with him because Sandy from Limited Touch was dating his sister, and they lived in 742 Park in Marcy,
Mm.
and I was there every day. Then I got shot. I stopped going every day.
That'll be a deterrent.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's why I started paying more attention to this music shit. You know what I mean?
you
So,
know?
but I was Brooklyn heavy. You know what I mean? I was between Marcy and Tompkins and Sumner and up the block at Bushwick. I was in all them projects constantly. And I was 13, 14, traveling by myself from Gun Hill Road in the Bronx,
Yep.
getting off. That's when the GG would go to Myrtle and Willoughby.
Yep.
And I was out there every day. I remember seeing Jay-Z as a kid on his bike. I didn't know it was him at the time. But when he came out, I went to a Big Daddy Kane show, and he was Kane's hype man. And I was like, I know this kid. And then I talked to somebody, and I was like, yeah, where is he from? And he was like, he's from Brooklyn. I'm like, what part? He was like, he's from Marcy. It's like, that's the little kid who used to be out on his bike in the center, in between the buildings. I remember him. That's crazy. Look at him now.
It's crazy. Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? So, man,
Mm-mm.
again, before we get out of here,
Yes.
the label is called shit. What's the label called? And of course,
Take
now
it
people want
through.
to call. Now, of course, people want to call me. Hold on one second. This is actually good for the podcast.
All right.
Who?
What's up, brother?
I'm in the middle of doing an interview on the podcast that you are live on right now.
Well, you just tell them how great this song is and the company is, and I'll let you go. I'm changing planes in Atlanta.
All right. Well, hit me. You know the rules. Touch ground. Holla.
You know I will.
All right. Peace. See? You sound like Colonel Saunders, right?
Right?
That's my brother, though.
Okay.
That is my brother. This would not be happening without him.
Right? All you have to do is put it in the universe, and he made it be. He made it happen.
Absolutely. He got it. He probably got it more. That was never my aim to own a label. But the more I thought about it, who wanted all them headaches? But there's something that comes with the control. If it fails, you can live with it because it was you.
Yeah.
If it wins, it takes more people to win than to lose, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's funny. It's like doing this right here. I mean, from what I put online to, the podcast, the radio show, I'm doing it all. T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I need. What does BAAS stand for anyway?
It originally stands for banging ass artist.
Oh, okay, that's dope. I actually like that.
So what
Some
happened?
Brooklyn
It was
shit.
right. Back in the day, yo, that shit was banging.
Banging.
So we had we called it banging ass artist initially, and then I went to open a business account, and the bank was like, I don't know about that name there. I think you might need to change it to something else. So I just took the name banging ass artist and put the S on it and made it plural. So I said,
you did a DBA. You did a doing business as. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I got you. No, I'm my government name isn't Free, even though my family's called me Free since I was a child. So when I hear my government name, I panic. I'm like, it's
like, what happened?
It's the IRS or ex-wife or some shit like that. And I go into hiding because I really don't hear. My mother never called me my government name. Never. That I can remember since I was a little child. Because
I'm
I actually got the name free as a really young child. So
Now, why did they start calling you Free?
well, it all started. I was born a little black child in the Bronx, and my mother would complain to my grandmother before she moved to Spain, um, that I was like the worst baby in the world. Like at 6 months, if I didn't get my way, I would do shit like swallow my tongue on purpose. Like, you know. So anyway, it went from that to the she would be taking me to the babysitter when I was like 1.5, 2, 3, and they would she said I would wiggle my way out her arms some way and crawl underneath the bus, and nobody could move until they could get me out from underneath the bus. Yeah, I was
What
a
was that
problem
all
child.
about? Why you getting underneath the bus?
I was a problem child, dog. I've never been good with people telling me what to do, ever. Like you was in
I'm
the
the same way
service,
though.
I wouldn't last a week.
I almost they threatened to kick me out so many times. They said, you know what? We trying to change you. You just an individual. They said
Yeah.
when I saw my drill instructor a couple of years after boot camp in
Mm-hmm.
Korea, and he was like, oh, he used to call me Space Cadet while I was in boot camp. Oh, Space Cadet, you still here? I'm like, yep. He said, and you got promoted a few times too. I'm like, yeah. He said, we ain't know what to do with you because you did not want to listen. People would tell you what to do. You like, that don't make sense.
That's
Okay,
not.
wow,
It's
but like,
not Pisces. It's not our nature. It's
right.
for
I'm like, what
someone
you
to
talking about?
just or talk to us crazy.
Right.
Like there's no quicker way to make me punch you in your mouth than to talk to me crazy.
Exactly.
Especially after I go, please don't talk to me like that, or talk down to me. And we
Yes.
hate judgment. We hate judgmental people.
Yes. Yes.
We can't stand narrow-minded people,
Nope.
arrogant people,
Nope.
or watching people treat other people badly.
Nope.
That's our trigger. That's the shit that triggers us.
And that was going on in the Marine Corps. And I'm like, who the hell? You know, and
Yeah.
what? No. So they said the only reason why we let you stay is because you showed that you had guts. Because I had I had an operation on my foot as a child. So I had stitches on the back of my leg. So the boot that we wore rubbed a hole in the back of where the scar was at.
Oh, damn combat boots.
Yes. And I didn't tell nobody. So I walked around there till it got really, really infected.
Again, that's some Pisces shit. We'll endure some shit, killing ourselves, trying to prove a point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So until the whole barracks started to smell. I said, what the hell is that smell? They say this is Saunders' boot. So the drill instructor called me over there. It's like, what is going on with your foot? I showed him. He said, you a goddamn idiot. You've been walking around all this time with this boot going on. Your foot is infected. So he said that made him keep me because he said, you know.
You was willing to go through all that.
Yeah. Right.
Listen, man.
They was going to kick my ass up out of the Marine Corps.
Well, you know, again, back to the thing. When I release a whole album, I'm probably going to call it The Profane and the Profound. Because that's very much, I mean, Pisces, we're extreme. Either we fuck with you all the way, or we don't care about your existence. There's no middle ground with us.
Nope.
And henceforth, free the dreamer. Who dreams like us?
Nobody.
You know what I mean? So that's where I got my name from.
I figured the dreamer part out.
Yeah.
I said, here's Pisces. You know, that's what we do.
That's definitely that's my ode to Pisces. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'm just very excited. I can't wait to share this music with everybody. I'm not expecting nothing crazy. I'm expecting it to be a piece by piece. And you know, with house, you could put out a record in 2007 and that shit goes crazy in 2030.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm just I want to build a community. That's how come I'm doing this press run. I'm trying to do it with people I'm really comfortable with that I could just open up and have. Because I'm sure you do it the same, dude. A weird vibe shut all the way down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the In Touch
Yeah.
days, I had an argument with Donnie Simpson on air on Video Soul. Like, I wish I could find that video clip. Eric probably
What
has it.
started the argument?
He's like, Free. Where'd you get this name Free? Because I was the first in person named Free. Free from 106 and Park wasn't around yet. You know, so I was, a matter of fact, I met her early on. She used to date a friend of mine back in the day, and that was Marie. So when I seen on TV as Free, I was like, hey. But you know, only person I knew named Free, David Carradine from Kung Fu named his son Free. That's the only other person I knew in existence named Free. And see, I forgot the point. Where was I going with this?
We was talking about Donnie Simpson and you arguing about.
Oh yeah. So we on there and he's like, Free. Well, that's a strange name. That can't be your real name. I said, well, did you just say it and I looked at you? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, there's the sense of reality right there. Free is my real name. And he was like, no, it's impossible. Let us know you. Like, he kept digging at me. And I said something crazy like, look, as a child, they thought I was so bad. They thought I was the Antichrist. I said something crazy. And it was so bad. Like, when we went to commercial, Bob Krasnow called BET Studios. It's like, you cannot say you're the Antichrist on national television. But I was so frustrated because he wouldn't let it go. And I mean, don't get it wrong. I got all the respect in the world for that man. And always in debt to him for giving us the look. Because, you know, Video Soul was the show then.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
you know,
was.
that and Soul Train. And
yep.
my goals, though, these were my goals. I want to be in Right On Magazine. I want to be on Video Music Box. New York Hot Tracks.
Yep.
The Chart and Jet. And do Video Soul and Soul Train.
And you did it all.
And I didn't even think it was possible. I was like, oh, and if I could play Madison Square Garden. And I never even thought that was possible. So, and all of that came true. So I'm like, oh, there's some shit to this manifesting, huh?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah. Like when we was the hot pick of the week on New York Hot Tracks, yo, you couldn't tell me shit for like a month.
I know. I can imagine.
I mean, we're playing arenas at this time, and that didn't matter. I was on New York Hot Tracks. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, if it was all the end tomorrow, I had the life of a 130-year-old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody said, yo, you should write a book. You got stories.
People tell me that all the time. And like since the early podcast days, they're like, yo, Free, you need to do a podcast just telling your stories. Because I got stories.
Oh, I know you do.
My family, this industry, I got stories. And I've seen a whole lot. And street shit. I've seen a whole bunch of street shit. You know what I mean? But it was like, some shit you need to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think I may write a book about my family, though. Or do something about my family. Because it's, how many Black Russians do you know?
Right.
You know, and for my grandmother to do what she did, and for my grandfather to have the audacity, I'm moving to Russia. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's and he was an entertainer, by the way. He was a song and dance man. Like, he was a star. And like, there's books where they talk about him. His name was Henry Scott. There's books where they talk about him and the performer he was and all that. And they talk, you know, there's Black history books talk about the early Black community in Russia, and they talk about my family. So, you know, I come from good stock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, obviously.
But when the biggest stockholder and the most responsible for anything that's good about me, anything that's amazing about me, is because of Joyce Smith, my mama.
Yeah.
My mama. She is the sun of this universe for me. Like, you see whatever I do, you usually see Joyce's son underneath it, because that's what I'm most proud of. I mean, I'm proud of my children. I'm proud of what I've accomplished musically. I'm proud of what I'm doing now. But I am so proud to be Joy Smith's son.
Hey,
Nobody I'd rather be the son of.
I know that's right.
You know what I
I
mean?
feel the same way about my mama.
See?
Yeah.
I guess we can't
Yeah.
end on no higher note than that.
Nope. Nope. I can
Sacred
get no stories
grooves.
about that. Yeah. Take a groove. Matter of fact, should we play a little bit of
Please. And before you do, pre-order August 7th. Comes out August 21st. All I need people to do is acknowledge it exists, man. And not
that's
everybody's a
it.
downloader. You see it, like it, share it, comment it. If you can't stand it, comment, you're free. This shit is whack. I've been doing this for 40 years. You cannot offend me. It's impossible. Musically, you cannot offend me. So, say what you feel, but say something. Let me know that you know it exists, because that way, everything ain't for everybody. The next one, I'm going to make sure you hear, and I'm going to keep putting them out till you go, yo, that's that one, kid.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there for it. So,
Well, let me go on, y'all. You like the man said, go on there and download it, pre-save it, pre-sell it on
yep.
Friday,
Share
and
it, comment, like.
come on over to BAAS Entertainment, wherever I'm at on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to put it out there for you, so you can definitely. If you don't hear it someplace else, you're going to hear it where I'm at.
That's why I'm here, bro. That's why I'm here. As far as Free the Dreamer goes, you're a day one. You're one of the day ones.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
And
It's a pleasure. It's a
I'm
pleasure.
so appreciative of it.
I gotta cue it up down. Give me a minute.
My dogs are looking at me like, you have a fetish yet? It's coming. And my little dog got a bed underneath my board, underneath my work desk. And he's curled up in the ball looking at me at the corner of his eye like, yo, I will bite you.
Now my father calling too. He's like, all right, what you doing? You've been on there too long. All right, let me get this song queued over here. I'm gonna have to go to Safari. Come on, Safari.
August 7th, release August 21st. I can't say it enough.
Oh,
Featuring Divinity Scott, by the way. Can't forget her.
that's not an AI person, is it?
Yes, it is.
All right.
And
So
you had no idea, did you?
I had an inkling, but I said, let me ask. Yeah.
No, she's AI.
Yeah, I did, because I did a search. And I said, this person ain't coming
I
up.
can't find Divinity Scott nowhere. My mother's maiden last name was Scott. And I always said if I had another daughter, I would name her Divinity. So that's where it came from.
Okay. See? But I know one thing. The vocals are bad on it, even if it is AI. But it feels from the heart.
I produced that vocal, bro. Line by line, I fed that damn machine. Because I knew exactly what I wanted, and I wasn't taking their input. I got the demo.
Man.
I can actually send you the demo before I had AI sing it.
You know what? This thing is not letting me go.
Well, it ain't happening now. Listen, bro.
I can
it's
add
going
it.
to happen. Huh?
I can add it. Once
Yeah.
I find out how to get my Google back.
And understand that it's raw. It's profane and profound. So
It is, because Mama likes to.
Yes, she does. God bless her soul. God bless her soul. And there's a lot of women out here who feel exactly like that song.
Okay.
I have so many women friends that I have these conversations with, and that's where the song came from. Like, sometimes I just need what I need, and can you please go on your way?
Right. I ain't trying to keep you around.
Yeah, no, Like, look, you got too much going on in your life, or you're too young, or something that this is all I need you for. And men been doing that to women for years, so.
For years.
You know what I mean? Since the beginning of time. So anyway, Troy, my brother.
Yes.
I
My
don't think
brother.
I ever told you
Thank you.
my middle name is actually Troy.
Get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It was supposed
And
to be Tory, and the nurse spelled it wrong on the birth certificate, and it ended up being Troy. So I was supposed to have this name.
wow. See, that's what I'm trying to say. And believe it or not, my grandmother's and maiden name, their name is Smith.
That's crazy. Let us find out we related somewhere.
You know? You
Let me
know?
find out that we Smith hitched at some point, at some way, somehow.
Somewhere down the line.
Kinville. If you
Just
got any
never know.
family from my father's family is from Florida.
Yep. My great grandmother's from Jacksonville, Florida.
They're from
But
Palm, not Palm, Palm something near West Palm though. They're they, I can't remember, but yeah, they're from Florida. So, and
yeah,
I just found all of them very recently.
get out of here.
Talk to them on Facebook and shit all the time now. Shout to my family in Florida. Oh, I
Yeah.
just found out I had twin sisters not that long ago too. So
As a matter of fact,
shout out to my
you just
sisters.
remind me. I found my half sister the year after my mother passed, and now
Yo,
we like glue in the shoe.
our father was my father was busy, bro. But think about how many
Yeah.
friends you had growing up who found out at the funeral when their pops died or something. I found out
Right.
they had brothers and sisters 8 blocks away.
Yes.
Yeah, them cats
Yep.
in the 60s and 70s, they was getting it in.
Yes, they were. My grandfather, same thing. You know, got
They,
uncles from
and I
all
found
over the place.
mine through ancestry.com.
Yeah, that's how I found my
Ancestry.
sister. I mean, I knew my mother told me that there was other people. You know, I had other brothers and sisters, but I never really met them.
I knew about
But
two, and I
yeah,
actually had like four more. The twin girls. I had a younger brother who got murdered before I met him, and another brother. I had actually talked to one sister who was older than me, and she was basically like, "Yeah, I'm not interested." And I was like, "Yo, I went 40 years without knowing you. I'm good, my pace."
right. Yeah,
Ain't like I was
you ain't no skin off
calling.
my ass. Ain't like right. I ain't have to ask you for
Ain't
nothing.
like I was calling to ask you for $10 or something.
Right.
But
I don't need you.
the crazy thing is, I would meet family members and shit, and they'd be like, "Yo, I have your album."
Mm.
I had no idea we were related.
Mm.
These like a couple of them was like, "Yo, I saw you in concert here," and then. And I was like, "Yeah,
Wow.
we family. How about that
Yeah.
shit?" Billy
Yeah.
was good for something.
It's funny. I think about my sister and like we did the same exact thing. She played the trumpet. I played the trumpet. She ran track. I ran track. I mean, everything was so aligned that we did the same thing growing up.
It's crazy, ain't
I
it?
said, "You talking about some DNA?" I'm like, "What? Out of all the instruments, why would she be playing the same thing that I would play?"
Yo,
You
when I
know?
saw my sisters, I was thank God that because them road days was crazy. That could have went a whole nother way because they're gorgeous. It could have went a whole nother way. I was like, thank
Right,
God.
right. You're like, we related. Oh shit.
Yeah, imagine that. And imagine that. And that's like on cats who got, I'm one of them who got kids with different women. You gotta make sure they know each other, bro.
Exactly.
Because it could go crazy. Anyway, man, me and you will keep doing this
Right. We'll be
forever.
out here for like 5 hours.
But it's a
But it's all
pleasure.
good.
I'm honored. Thank you for doing this with me.
That was my pleasure. My
Shout
pleasure.
out. Give my final shout outs. My partner Hoove. Every DJ got in early. Byron James always. Carl the Third always.
Yeah.
Michelle, my balance, my partner, baby, always. My kids, the whole lot of you. My
Always,
grandkids,
man.
always. My grandkids, Koa, Ori, and JoJo, always. So and everybody else who knows I love you, always. So
Yeah.
with that said, we'll do this again, third single.
Yeah. Come on back. You're welcome anytime, bro.
I
All you
appreciate
gotta
you,
do is
man.
say, "Hey, Troy, come on in. I want to come. Come on."
Thanks
Oh,
for
shoot.
sharing your audience with me, bro.
Yo,
And if
it's
there's
my
anybody
pleasure.
you trying to get to that I may know, let me know, and I'll
All
see
right.
what I can do. All right.
All right. Definitely.
Much
Definitely.
love.
My pleasure, my brother. Thank you. Love you.
Peace. Love you back. One.
Peace.